So hello from me, and my name is Lemme, and I think it's very nice to start right after Sandra because she's very efficient, speaks great English, and gives you the most important details. This is actually exactly what I will try to do. I will try to spare you from the thousands of words of juridical moments and give you a brief overview of the services which you can access when you are in contact with the Unemployment Insurance Fund. So the first thing obviously is you can book a career consultation session here, like Sandra already told you, via the International House. If you don't want to go further, you don't want to discover a new location, you can meet our career specialists here. And obviously the career specialist will not choose for you, but it can be a very nice psychological support and hopefully an objective person that you can discuss your options with. Obviously the Estonian market is divided into two groups. International companies that are here that will accept expats who work and speak English or other languages, and local companies who then expect you to adapt and acquire the Estonian language. This is pretty much what you will face during a career session and many other things. But the good thing is you can meet the career specialist many times, as much as you need. You will email, you can have a session via Skype or Microsoft Teams, and really kind of map it out with the career specialist. And obviously, like in life, it's important that there would be a match between the people as well. Sometimes people feel that, okay, I shared my story, but the career specialist really didn't get me as a person. Book again. There will be another person. That's perfectly normal. We all know that the manicure specialist and the hairdresser and the massage therapist has to be your person. So it's kind of the same with career services. And of course you can get the career counseling service when you're unemployed with us. There was a question in the chat in Slido, who can register as unemployed? The main answer is when you don't have a job contract running. If you're not working officially, if you're unofficially working as a nanny, doing Uber, driving Bolt, whatever, the government cannot map this. So it's against the law, but we cannot see that. So you cannot be officially working with a contract because we will see it from the tax and customs office if you have a contract valid. Who can also register as unemployed is a student who is not studying full-time but part-time. Then we can register you as an unemployed student. You cannot get the 100% services because some of the services like internship will be organized by the school. But there is a lot of useful stuff that you can still get. So I have been a career counselor myself for 6 years, thousands of clients. It's a nice time, so if you need it, register. But remember that the most important career specialist is in here. And even if somebody tells you that you can't do it, you have to decide what the real answer is. Yeah, so this is how you can book a career guidance counseling time from our web. And we have an English webpage as well. But if you register, you will sign in with your smart ID or mobile ID. Please be patient. It's e-government, so it will be in Estonian. If you have a friend helping you, it's nice. If you don't really understand the text, you can always pop by to our offices and we'll register you ourselves with paperwork in 15 minutes or so. This is a really cool thing that is also available at töötukassa.ee on our website. I myself am one of the researchers behind this labor demand barometer. What this basically means is when a new person is coming to Estonia, they have no idea what occupations are in demand. This map helps you choose a profession. There will be like a menu where you can choose from. And I chose, for this screenshot, I chose IT for a programmer occupation, and it will show you last year and the prognosis for next year in color coding. So if we look at the colors, then a shortage is blue or green, whatever you want to call it. And a surplus, meaning there is an excess of those workers and the competition is really tough, is orange. So as you can see from the map, the situation is that we really need programmers. We needed them last year, we need them next year. And if we don't have anything on the map in this barometer, you can always check some research documents that I've linked here as well. But it will give you a quick overview. What is the market situation? Because it changes. It changes every other year. And we do this barometer with a team of experts and also employer specialists, including myself, twice a year. So twice a year we meet, we look at the governmental statistics, we look at, we have experts from the private sector, and then our experience as well. And we also look at the Unemployed Insurance Fund website, how many job offers have we received, how many people are unemployed, and also how many people are looking for this type of job, in this case programming. So this is a useful tool, which is even better and more thorough. If you want to, you can always take pictures of these slides. A very good material to use when you enter Estonia or when your job contract ends is a statistics website from Kutsekoda. They issue labor market prognosis for the next 10 years. Basically everything you want and all the questions. Can I get a job in HR, in marketing, in journalism, in video editing? You will find the answer from one of these reports. They have translated, they have begun to translate this into Russian and English language. 100% publications are on this webpage in Estonian. I can't promise you that they have everything in English, but I checked out the webpage myself before making this screenshot. There is a brief overview in English, so you should get a lot out of this site. And even if the publication is, as you can see, 2016, this is valid for 10 years, so the prognosis is until 2026. And they have a really thorough view of market. So if you want to know what is in demand and if how tough is the competition in the market here, check out this report. And check out the seminars and news. Obviously, our career specialist usually knows them, reads them. So the quick version would be to meet a career specialist and kind of double check all this information. We have cool events as well in the Unemployed Insurance Fund. It does not mean that you have to register as unemployed. You can also be working and attend our seminars or job fairs. So one of the biggest events that we have twice a year, usually in September and March, is the online job fair. We will have all the advertising on our website, obviously, and a lot of other channels. We have a Töötukassa or the Unemployed Insurance Fund Facebook site. We will market all our events there. So if you follow us, you will know. Usually we have like a few hundred companies joining us online for the online fair. Plus we have seminars like at a physical location, career seminars, different experts speaking about the economy, how to enhance your career. And and then we also have recruitment days. This is something that I personally also organize. Every month we have recruitment days in the European Hestia Hotel. If you know where the D terminal is, then it's really close to that terminal in the center of the city. And the next recruitment day is on September 5th. There you can actually meet 33 companies every month and directly contact them. How many of them want to recruit somebody who doesn't speak Estonian or Russian? Another story. But there are some, there are more, and we will try to invite different sectors and different companies every month. So it's not only customer service or manufacturing work in a factory. It's a strong variety of different employers, and we will also counsel there on site. It's completely free, like all of our services, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you want calmer environment, please don't come within the first hour, because usually it's like 600 to 1,000 people there just walking by. But the second hour is a little bit nicer. You can have a nice cup of coffee at the hotel lobby. Even our employers, when they lose their voice, they go out and have a cup of coffee and then return. So recruitment days, it's a big thing. Different companies, and if you want a fast job, come. I guarantee you there will be something for you in different sectors. September the 5th and October the 4th are the next dates. I will not go into this in detail, but the European job portal, Euros, is also having an online job fair every year, and their events, but this means work within the EU. So if you're really desperate and you haven't found anything here, you can always check the EU portal, which is euros.europa.com, and maybe find remote work from within the EU so that you can remain here. But how the registration will be with the police and border guard, like Sandra said, you will need to specify. Yeah, so we have all kinds of cool events all the time. Basically, you can already, via e-Töötukassa, via your mobile or smart ID, the day that you get the notice of dismissal and when your job contract ends, you can already register yourself as unemployed. You can do it via our portal. The system will automatically double check the tax and customs board, see if your contract has ended. If you cannot register online as an unemployed via the system, there will be an information, like the reason will be stated on your screen. If you don't understand it, Google Translate it. If that's not enough, then come to our office. We will help you with this answer. Some people who, for instance, are shareholders, or they have their own company, and they have not paid their own salary via that company, which means they're not eligible for an unemployed insurance benefit, cannot register as unemployed. They have changed the law a bit with this last years. A little while ago they could not register at all. Now they can if they're eligible for the insurance benefit. Yeah, so basically if you want to register as unemployed, do it online. If the system will let you, it will be fine. You can book the first session with your consultant via phone or in the office. Other services. You can get labor market training, so basically courses, paid courses, when you are unemployed. The government will not be like, hello, whatever you like. We have a fund of over 2,500 euros per unemployed client for these courses. But the thing is, it has to match your career wish or your career perspective. So if you're into IT and you feel like, oh, my JavaScript is a little bit weak, and you have other experience in IT sector, then this would be a logical course to apply from your consultant, and your consultant will single-handedly decide if you'll get it or not. So all the arguments that you can put together are good. If you will get it, then we will pay for it, and you will be able to participate in the course, even if you already, after registering to the courses, end your contract with us, you end your status of unemployment with us. You get a job maybe. This does not change or change our decision. If the Unemployed Insurance Fund has decided that you will get the course, then you can get it, as long as we have registered and paid for it. Obviously, all the universities and a lot of private sector companies are our training partners. So there is a nice choice. Sometimes when there is not the appropriate course, I used to have a Estonian lawyer who was my client. I think it was 7 or 8 years ago. She had a feedback from job interviews that her theoretical Russian language was very weak. And this was the reason they didn't want to hire her. She had good work experience. But she kind of got this feedback all over again. And of course, she applied for theoretical Russian language courses. But we didn't have our appropriate partner, so the thing that she did, she searched the private sector for a company, and we paid for it, since none of our service partners could deliver. So it's very important to communicate with your consultant and be open about it. Another cool thing that we give is a business startup subsidy. Basically, it's 6,000 euros. If you are a shareholder and you are a shareholder in your previous company for more than 51%, then you cannot apply for it. Obviously, if you have a lot of debt and generally are an unethical person, it will show up in the business registry or somewhere in the tax and customs boards, then you cannot get it. We will not give for transportation sector this business startup subsidy, but generally all other sectors are fine. Or go. The thing is, you have to be unemployed when you apply for this business startup subsidy. When you actually write your business plan, it doesn't really matter, but when you apply, you have to be unemployed. And then we will read it for 30 days, and we will send our verdict to your email. Of course, you can reapply if you don't agree with the decision. If it's a no, the board will usually, and the board is made of entrepreneurial experts, they will usually comment, maybe like, please modify the business plan on page 15, include different partners, like a specific reason why the business plan is not strong enough. So you can always reapply. It doesn't mean that it's over when the first no is retrieved. I don't know if you know the company Muhu Bakery. They got their first business subsidy from us. They're now huge, and their products are delicious. People who are under stress that is related to their work and job search and are unemployed can also get psychological counseling via us. This just means that we are buying a service from psychological clinics. You can also get it, I think it was 10 times. So if you really need it, you can apply for it. For people who are overwhelmed with their finances, we have debt counseling as well. People register there, but they seldom finish at debt counseling. So that's another interesting statistic. And we actually have addiction counseling as well, because life happens and sometimes people need help. So it's quite the picture if you are with us and maybe you get a paid course, you see a career specialist, you apply for jobs and you go to job interviews, then you maybe listen to a seminar with us, and if you really needed to get some psychological consultation as well to maintain the balance, this is all helpful to a balanced career. This is what our portal looks like. Of course, we have Russian version and English version as well, but please be patient if the employer that is looking for a specialist has not published a job offer in English. Our system will automatically match you with the potential, our AI will match you with the potential employers. You can communicate with them via our portal. If you have any questions, of course, you can call our information lines. A small comment for employers, because I heard that we might have a company or two here today as well. We have services for companies as well. One of the services that an unemployed person and the company can collaborate through is our apprenticeship service. This basically means that if I'm unemployed, I can choose a company that is ready to give me an internship or apprenticeship service. I will register this through the Unemployed Insurance Fund, and we will pay you a small fee and the company a small fee, and you can be in this service up to 4 months. And basically then just figure it out along the way. If this is what I want to do, if this works out, if the contact is good, if they like you, if I like them, all that, the employer does not have the obligation to hire you after the apprentice service, but it's a good thing to kind of get the door opening. Obviously, you can do it on your own without us, maybe get a lot better money if the company is able to pay and they're willing to pay for the apprentice service. With us, you will get €3.83 because this is the government apprenticeship tuition. If you get other subsidies, then this will not be removed. This will be also added. What else that the employers can benefit from? We have a separate fund for the employers, a training fund that can be used for the following cases. The first one is Estonian language courses, because a lot of people start when they're unemployed, but they don't have time to finish, or they finish their language exam, but then they need to study B1 or A2. They want to continue, and then they're already working. With us, the employer can apply for a refund, and you can still continue at the same language school that you started with when you were unemployed. But the employer has to contact us, and this is where I come in. So our contact phones are here. Please be bold to use this service. Do you remember the blue web page with the prognosis of the labor market? We also give a refund to the courses according to this research service that are lacking in the Estonian market. This means a lot of the IT sector, a lot of the medicine sector, like nurses, doctors, welders. So if an occupation is needed here, and the research confirms it, then the Unemployed Insurance Fund will pay for the course that will help the employer create this job. So if it happens to you and you're talking to the employer and you're kind of feeling it, I'm not sure if I want to pay for the course myself, the employer's like, yeah, me neither, you can always contact Töötukassa and ask, or check out our webpage, because the full list of occupations, we have it in a huge Excel sheet, and it is updated every month. And then if a third reason when we give out refund for the training courses would be if there are economical changes in the company. Sometimes they will rearrange something. And another reason for us to give training courses is if the company will adapt a new IT program, like a software or something. Sometimes it's new machines and new hardware and new software. So this is also when we want to help, so that the employer does not need to lay people off. Yeah. And we also have a wage subsidy to kind of boost the employer, where we actually pay 50% up to a year of the salary of the person. These target groups usually are either a young person, 16 to 24 years, who is really doesn't have a lot of job experience at all, is unemployed with us, a person who is fresh out of jail, wants to start anew, a person who has already registered a reduced workability, so they have this diploma from us that they don't have 100% work ability, but maybe 50% or less. and our other clients who have been unemployed with us for over a year, because this is the period then when the person needs a little bit more support, both communication-wise and mentally, and employers like this service. So it's an argument. If you're unemployed and you're one of these target groups, your consultant will know if you match this wage subsidy. Then it's a really nice kind of like a trade-off to add this to your CV, that if you hire me, I am eligible for a wage subsidy. The Unemployed Insurance Fund also issues a license for permission to hire an alien. This is a process that is also quite delicate. The employer has to find and search for the candidate within the local portals first. So if this fails, they can hire somebody from abroad. Yes, and as I mentioned, our events are also cool. What you also get when you register as unemployed is you get health insurance, but this is from the second month. You can always double check it from sd.de. There will be one sentence there, insured or not. When you leave us, we usually add 1 month of medical insurance, because the employer will pay from the second month as well, so you will be covered. I hope I answered the question in Slido, that basically everybody can be registered as unemployed if you're not working, or if you're not a full-time student. If you're a part-time student, welcome. Also, moms, also retirees can register. If you're over 65 years, then you can register not as unemployed, but as a job seeker. This means that you basically have more or less all the same rights and services. Not 100%, but it will be as job seeker. If you're working and you need services from us, you can also register as a job seeker. Let's talk about money and law a little bit. One of the benefits that we issue or we give is the unemployed insurance benefit. Very briefly, this is a benefit that you will get if you have worked within the EU region, in Estonia or in other EU countries, for at least a year or more. What matters is also, if you have been made redundant, then yes, you are usually also eligible for it. What matters is the contract paragraph, how you finish your job contract. Redundancy will automatically provide you with the benefit. If you leave on your own terms, you will be cut off. If there is a paragraph 89 where, let's say a guy from the warehouse stole something, which is considered a criminal act, then it will also be cut off. And a mutual agreement, unfortunately, which is poolte kokkuleppel in Estonia, will also cut you off from this insurance benefit. But when you apply for this in e-Töötukassa, please try, because we will take a look. We will make the decision if you'll get it or not. If you won't get it, we will send you a juridical decision stating the reason on the paragraph. Your consultant usually knows if you get it or not. But don't believe everybody in the information lines. You have to apply for it yourself, and we will double check and look into that matter. So if you have worked for a long time, for 10 years, you will get the benefit for 300 calendar days. Hopefully you will not be with us for that long, because you need a new job. But life happens to all of us, and sometimes the training programs are longer, and the job search also takes a little bit more time, so this will be a nice support. If for 5 to 10 years, then you'll get it a little over 210 days, and up to and under 5 years you will get it for 6 months, 180 days. If you have worked somewhere else in the EU, then you can also apply for the same benefit. initially it's 60% of your salary what you earned. But the applying usually takes 6 to 8 months, because we will contact the let's say Prague office or Brussels office where you worked. They will contact their tax and customs board. I have absolutely no idea how all the countries of EU process, and different countries have different processing times. And very common is also the case where a person who has worked within the EU comes and registers as unemployed, gets different services, applies for the unemployment insurance benefit from EU. This is usually done via this U1 form. Don't need to remember it, your consultant will know. Then they leave in 3 months, and in 8 months the money arrives. So since you have had the right for that insurance benefit, it doesn't really matter when we pay it out. When the paperwork arrives, it can happen, and very often happens a little bit later. Yeah, but all in all, this is what we can give you. A very cool service that is linked to the career services is also help how to modify your CV and your motivation letter. In every office we have a CV specialist that has their own small little room. You can book a time with the CV specialist. They are usually fluent in 3 languages, at least Estonian, Russian, English, and you can get a second look at your CV. In Estonia, it's a really popular thing also to have temporary employment. You can actually work 8 days a month when you're unemployed. This is to kind of perk up the working habit and also give you the opportunity to get the first contact with an employer. But you cannot earn more than 290 euros, and this does not cut off your benefit if you get something. If you get the monthly benefit as unemployed. Yeah, so be bold to try this one out. Employers love it. And it doesn't really matter if it's 8 days in a row or 2 days and then 5 days, and yeah, you can work a little bit.